Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at our big stories. Since taking over Twitter, Elon Musk has recommended a plethora of changes on the microblogging site. First, he sacked the top management. Then he announced that the site will charge $8 a month for the blue tick. And now reports suggest that Musk plans to cut around 50% of Twitter's workforce. According to reports, Musk intends to cut about 3,700 jobs at Twitter in an effort to reduce costs. And Twitter's new owner will inform the impacted employees on the 4th of November. It was only last week that the senior members of the product teams were instructed to aim for a 50% workforce cut. According to reports, those who are laid off will be provided with 60 days worth of severance money. Musk also plans to end Twitter's policy that allowed employees to work from home. Since Musk took control of the microblogging site, he has fired a large portion of the top management team, including Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal, and the microblogging site has now cancelled its Chirp conference amid management transition. The conference was scheduled to take place in San Francisco on the 16th of November. In a tweet, the company said that it is hard at work to make Twitter better for everyone, including the developers, and that it might soon share some of the news about the topic. Now, it is, however, unclear what Twitter for developers will look like in the Musk era. Meanwhile, Twitter has disrupted 3 China-based operations that were trying to influence America's midterm elections. The operations spanned nearly 2,000 user accounts. However, the Chinese embassy in Washington has said that the country was not behind the accounts that were suspended. Twitter's takedown of the networks, which operated between April and October, comes during a stormy period for the social media giant, as it faces scrutiny over how it manages to handle misinformation ahead of the midterm elections in America. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by Martin Bryant, who is a tech expert from Manchester, UK. Thank you for being with us on the broadcast. Now, after the reports that there were not going to be big layoffs, we are now getting reports suggesting that Musk plans to cut around 50% of Twitter's workforce. What details can you share on this?
Well, certainly this is, we were expecting significant layoffs. Elon Musk has taken on a huge amount of debt to acquire Twitter, and certainly he needs to cut costs significantly. There were reports that it was going to be 75%. Elon Musk himself actually denied that last week. But as we move towards these cuts actually happening, 50% certainly seems like it will be roughly the figure we'll see. It's certainly concerning in terms of what departments will feel the cuts the most. That's something we don't know, and what impact that will have on Twitter, both on its stability as an app for individual users. You know, will it still work properly? Will it crash? That kind of thing. Will development slow down on important new features, or in features that were previously thought of as important within the company? And more importantly, as we look to the US midterms next week, will moderation take a hit, and platform integrity? So these are definitely problems that we need to look at. And the loss of the work from home policy is certainly something that isn't surprising, knowing what we know about Musk, and also the fact that he wants to try and build a new company culture very quickly. But it will potentially impact the ability for a diverse range of people to work at the company, people with family commitments and people in different countries, for example. So that will have a major impact on the company and how it operates.
Right. In a tweet, the company said that it is hard at work to make Twitter better for everyone, including the developers, and that it might soon share some of the news about this. Do you have any further information on the new and improved Twitter?
Well, certainly from an internal developer point of view, Elon Musk is moving forward very quickly with new products. So we're seeing a new verified system where anyone can get one of those blue and white verified badges, which you see on a lot of celebrity and journalist accounts, for example, at the moment. It's reported that it will launch as soon as next week, although some of these changes are being rushed through very quickly. So how effective and how thorough they'll have been implemented remains to be seen. In terms of the conference that's been cancelled, this is for external developers. This is for people who develop apps that use Twitter data, that help people use Twitter in different ways. And Twitter has had a rocky relationship with those developers over the years. It used to love those developers, and then it very much locked down the way it operated, because it wanted to make sure it could build an advertising business and not have people building, say, third-party apps that take advertising revenue away from Twitter, for example. But in more recent times, it's been trying to cultivate that relationship with developers again under the previous management. How that will look now? Well, let's see. Elon Musk himself has said, I don't think anything about third-party developers. So we'll have to see. But certainly people who develop Twitter apps, I'm told, are, for example, holding off on launching new Twitter apps, or apps that work with Twitter data, because they just want to see what will happen.
Right. And you did touch on the moderation of content. Talk to us about the accounts that have been suspended for trying to disrupt the US midterms.
Yes, so this is something we see a lot from, in this case, it was China and Iran, but often Russia, even the has been caught in the past doing this kind of thing, where you have fake accounts trying to influence either the right or the left politically, or both. In these cases, it was both, and in some cases even endorsing specific candidates. And the idea is to cause chaos, or to try and at least push forward perhaps Chinese interests, for example, and get Chinese talking points into the election. And so as we see Twitter's job cuts coming in and the midterms next week, it's going to be, well, interesting is one way to put it. Nerve-wracking might be another if you're in America, how that might influence what happens as the elections take place.
Right. Martin, thank you very much for being with us on this broadcast and all your insights there.
Thank you.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.